Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to be sharing 5 photography tips when you're using a foldable phone. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Demas Rusli and I'm a photographer and designer based in Sydney, Australia. In this video, we're going to be talking about photography tips that will help you take better photos using a foldable phone. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using the new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold6, but you can apply these techniques to all other foldable phones, including the flip form factor too. So first things first, before we go out and take some photos, a few settings I would recommend would be to shoot in the 3:4 aspect ratio. This will give you the highest resolution image. All other ratios available are just cropped versions of the 3:4 as the camera sensor is in this ratio. You want to make sure this setting is applied for when you shoot both on the cover screen and also on the inside screen as well. Next, I would go into the settings and go into the advanced picture options, and then for the Pro mode picture format, I change this to RAW and JPEG, so when you do shoot in Pro mode, you will get a DNG file, which is a lot more flexible when it comes to color grading later on. Finally, I usually turn on my grid lines too, just to help with composition and lining up subjects. Alright, so now we've got the most optimal camera settings, let's go out there and get into these photography tips. When I'm about to take photos, I always wipe my lenses first using a microfiber cloth or the inside of my shirt. You know those light flares you sometimes get when taking photos? That's a result of having a dirty camera lens. Our phones are always in our pockets or bags, so it's bound to be a bit dusty, so make sure you clean the lens before you start to take photos. Next, for Galaxy phones, the quickest way to activate the camera is to double tap the power button. I find this so handy, especially when you want to take a photo quickly on the go. Tip number 1, open the phone to have a bigger viewfinder. This might be a very obvious tip, but using the huge inside screen can really help with your compositions and framing, as in my opinion, it makes the photography experience more immersive. From the few weeks I've used this phone, I've separated when I would open the phone for photography and when I just shoot using the cover screen. For me, I keep it closed when I'm just taking quick snaps of my day-to-day life, but when I really want to focus on taking good photos of something, that's when I open the phone. It's actually been so great having such a big screen for photography. Tip number 2, use the main cameras to take high-res selfies. Because the phone flips open, you can actually take selfies using the main cameras. This allows for higher quality selfies, and you can also shoot your selfies using the ultra wide camera too. Because of this, I rarely ever use the cameras on the cover screen and also never use the camera on the inside screen. To be able to see yourself on the cover screen when taking a selfie, all you have to do is turn on the camera when the phone is open, then click this cover screen preview button. When you flip the phone around, you will need to slide this lock button so you can control the camera on the cover screen, and that's it. Now you can take high-res selfies. Tip number 3, fold the phone at an angle and use it as a tripod. So this is what Samsung calls flex mode, and there are many different useful use cases when you put the phone into this form factor that will allow for some unique and unexpected angles when taking photos. Here are a few examples. You can fold the phone and turn on the cover screen preview when taking lookup shots. This way you can get super low and still see the composition. Before you put your phone down on a surface and use it as a tripod, a tip for doing this is to either use a phone case or place a cloth or something soft underneath your phone to avoid scratches or marks. Next, you can flip the phone upside down to get the lens closer to the ground. This will create a more appealing foreground and good for reflection shots when you shoot on a reflective surface. Putting the phone in flex mode when you do this will keep the phone steady and in the same position, making it easier to shoot. Similarly, you can turn the phone sideways and again turn on the cover screen to shoot landscape photos very low to the ground. Because flex mode essentially adds a built-in tripod to your phone, you can activate the 5 or 10-second timer to be able to take selfies from a distance too. One last thing this mode is perfect for is when you're doing long exposure night photography in Pro mode or Expert RAW mode. Just simply place your phone down, adjust the settings accordingly, and because the phone can hold itself up, you don't need a tripod to do this and you can get really cool long exposure photos like this. Tip number 4, activate capture view. When you're taking photos using the large inside screen, you can click this button to activate this thing called capture view. This allows you to see the photos you've taken straight away, and if you've captured the right composition you want without needing to check it on the gallery app. This is a great way to utilize the large screen on this phone. And tip number 5, use the camera alongside another app in multitasking mode. Another way to utilize the large inside screen on this Galaxy Z Fold6 is to open another app side by side while taking photos. This could be a sun locator app to help predict where the sun will rise or set, or an astrophotography app to locate star constellations. Maybe you want to open up Instagram or Google Images to help you with an image reference and see how other people are taking photos of that specific location. Or maybe you can turn on Spotify and listen to your photography playlist while you're taking photos. Whatever app you want to add on the side to multitask with is as easy as clicking the apps button on the bottom left and long pressing and dragging the app you want to use to either side of the screen. You can also just tap and hold and drag on any of the apps on the bottom taskbar as well. Finally, a bonus tip, and one that can be applied to any phone, not just foldables, is to use all the lenses you have on your phone. Try challenging yourself to capture a good composition using each lens while standing in the same spot. Alright, so now we've gone out and taken some photos and learned some photography tips. I also want to show you some Galaxy AI features that might be useful to you when it comes to editing photos using this phone. The first and easiest tool to use is probably the remaster tool. To access this, go to the photo you want to edit, then click this 3-dot icon on the top right, and then click Details. The option to remaster should appear here on the bottom left of the image. Click it and the phone will edit the photo automatically according to what it thinks should be the correct colors and exposures. If you want to control your editing more precisely and more to your liking, you can use the built-in editing tools in the Gallery app. Here you can change the crop, straighten your photos, pick a certain filter, and go through each setting and tweak the colors and tones how you want. Play around in this section because there's quite a bit you can do here. This isn't AI, but it's definitely good for photo editing. The next AI tool I want to show is this generative transform feature where you can remove unwanted objects or people in your photos and also add subjects to your photos too. To access this, go to the photo you want to edit, then click this pencil icon, then this blue Galaxy AI button. Here you can long press to select the unwanted parts of the image, then click the eraser button and then generate. The AI will try to remove the selection and fill it in automatically. This can be a bit inconsistent and works better with more predictable backgrounds. In this tool you can also move subjects and resize them too to place them in a different part of the photo. Again, this sometimes doesn't work so well depending on the photo, but it's a nice to have tool on the phone. One last thing you can do using this tool is to add from different photos as well. To do this, when you've clicked Galaxy AI, click this 3-dot icon on the top right and select Add from Gallery. Next, pick the image you want to add, select that part of the image you want to add and click Done. Next, move and reposition where you want to put that part of the new image onto the previous image and then click Generate. The Generate button will only be able to be pressed once you've deleted from or rotated the original image a little bit. This is good for creating collages too. Get creative with it. Another thing you can do in this Galaxy AI mode is to straighten photos without needing to crop. Usually when you straighten photos, the edges get a bit cropped, but with this Galaxy AI tool, it can fill in the edges for you automatically. Just slide this angle slider until your photo is straight and then hit generate. Again, this works better with easier backgrounds. One hack I found is if you want your photos to be wider, you can change the angle to around -7 degrees and then generate, and then do it again with +7 degrees and generate again. This should create a wider image and fill in the edges if you really need to do that. One more fun thing you can do now using your photos using Galaxy AI is this new thing called Sketch to Image. Right now this is only available on the Galaxy Z Fold6 and Z Flip 6. For this you can draw something into your photos and AI will try to recognize your drawing and create a realistic version of it into your photos. For example, if I want to put a boat in this photo, all I have to do is click this pencil icon, then this Galaxy AI button, and then click this Sketch to Image button. Next, just draw in a simple boat and click Generate. Galaxy AI will come up with 4 options for you from the sketch you did. You can draw using different colors too, and the AI will generate the image based on the colors you drew with. One last thing I wanted to show, and it's probably the most useful thing I use when looking for photography locations, is this thing called Circle to Search. So if I'm scrolling through Instagram and see a cool spot and I really want to know where that is, all I have to do is long press the home button, then circle the image that's on the screen, and it'll do a reverse Google search of what you circled and show where the exact location is. This is so handy when you want to find out where a certain place is. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions regarding any of the photography tips or the Galaxy AI features on the Galaxy Z Fold 6, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and stay tuned for lots more videos coming soon. As always, thanks so much for watching, and remember to always push your creativity to the next level. Bye!